Coral reef types and biodiversity. What is a coral reef? A coral reef is a large underwater ecosystem built mainly by tiny marine animals called coral polyps. These animals produce hard skeletons made of calcium carbonate, which accumulate over many generations and form reef structures. Coral reefs usually develop in warm, shallow, clear marine waters where sufficient sunlight supports their growth. They provide food, shelter, breeding grounds, and nursery habitats for a remarkable variety of organisms, including fishes, mollusks, crustaceans, sea turtles, sponges, and algae. Coral reef types and biodiversity. Fringing reef. A fringing reef is the most common type of coral reef and develops along the coast of an island or mainland. It usually begins close to the shoreline and extends toward the sea. Because it is near land, it can be strongly affected by coastal pollution and sediment entering the water. Barrier reef. A barrier reef is separated from the coastline by a large lagoon. It may extend for hundreds of kilometers and can provide a natural barrier that reduces the energy of waves reaching the shore. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's best known example. Atoll. An atoll forms a ring-like coral structure surrounding a lagoon, usually without a large central island. A classic explanation is that coral reefs continue growing around a volcanic island as the island gradually subsides, leaving the reef surrounding a lagoon. Patch reef. A patch reef is a small, isolated coral formation that develops within a lagoon or shallow marine environment. Patch reefs may vary greatly in size and provide important shelter and feeding areas for smaller marine organisms. Coral polyps. Coral reefs are built by tiny animals called coral polyps. These animals secrete a hard skeleton made primarily of calcium carbonate. Over many generations, the accumulated skeletons form large reef structures. Coral and algae relationship. Many reef-building corals live in a close relationship with microscopic photosynthetic algae. The algae provide organic nutrients produced through photosynthesis, while the coral provides a protected environment and access to materials needed by the algae. Fish diversity. Coral reefs provide habitats for an enormous variety of fish. Small reef fish use coral structures as hiding places, while larger predators depend on the reef ecosystem for food. Invertebrate diversity. Reefs support many invertebrates, including crabs, shrimps, mollusks, sea stars, sea urchins, sponges, and worms. These organisms perform different roles within the reef food web. Sea turtles and other animals. Coral reef ecosystems are also visited or inhabited by sea turtles, reef sharks, rays, marine birds, and numerous other animals. Their presence contributes to the complexity of the ecosystem. Coral reef food web. Energy enters the reef ecosystem through photosynthetic organisms such as algae and microscopic producers. Herbivores feed on plants and algae, while carnivores feed on other animals. Decomposers recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Coral bleaching. When corals experience severe environmental stress, particularly unusually warm seawater, they may lose their symbiotic algae and become pale or white. This phenomenon is called coral bleaching. Prolonged or severe bleaching can cause coral death. Ocean acidification. Increasing carbon dioxide in seawater can reduce ocean pH and make it more difficult for reef-building organisms to produce and maintain their calcium carbonate skeletons. Human importance. Coral reefs provide food, fisheries, tourism opportunities, coastal protection, and scientific value. Millions of people worldwide depend directly or indirectly on healthy reef ecosystems. Conservation. Protecting coral reefs requires reducing pollution, controlling destructive fishing practices, protecting important reef areas, managing coastal development, and addressing climate-related ocean warming. Conclusion. Coral reefs are not simply underwater rock structures, they are living ecosystems built by tiny animals and supporting thousands of other organisms. Their diversity, ecological importance, and vulnerability make coral reefs one of the most fascinating topics in marine biology. Subscribe and follow BioEnigma X, Jivesh for more interesting biology, zoology, marine biology, ecology, and competitive exam topics.